And once they started working,
start the session because we already have a delay of 15 minutes. I will be the bad wolf today because we don't have time. This is why I will introduce directly. The first speaker is our Vice Rector, Professor Ionel Mangaladiu. He will deliver us an introduction frame on citizen science concept.
Thank you very much, Dana. Hello again. Before I will start my presentation, allow me to do some comments related to the yesterday afternoon session concerning gender equality. I understood that some of the people misunderstood one of my assertion. That means I'm talking about that one in which I say in university there are not gender problems. Indeed, it is like that, not in all university, but in my university for sure it is like that, and I was talking from my experience. We in Alexander Ioan Cuza University don't have such of problems. There is an equilibrium between male and female, almost half. They have the same salary for the same positions, involved in all the management activities and so on and so forth. This is why I done and I say this. I say that assertion. If in other universities are problems, of course they will solve it. I am pretty sure. I was talking about autonomy. Autonomy is a wonderful tool and a low implementation of democracy and democratic problems, democratic strategy. So they will solve for sure that the situation. And maybe it is not a bad idea to use Alexander Ioan Cuza University as a model of good practices in the respect of gender equality. Okay, thank you very much. And right now, I will try to tell you some brief information about this citizen science. What means citizen science and with what is dealing of? Citizen science, it's a very complex and broaded issue. I found in different literature resources different definitions, but from this I choose one of it, which from my point of view seems to be more appropriate for citizen science concept. Citizen science refers to the general public engagement in specific research activities when citizens actively contribute to science either with their intellectual effort or surrounding knowledge or with their tools and resources. I took it from the white paper on citizen science for Europe in 2005 elaborated. So basically, as you could see, citizen science is trying to do a linkage between all the actors that are involved in science and what it is related to the science. Actually, all the economy, somehow it is connected with science. The society generally is connected with the science. So, and of course, in science are involved people. These people have to interact with the other people from society which are not involved in science, but they are connected to them. Different stakeholders, public authorities, different companies that are not involved, but they have to understand what science means. And in order to understand, there should be a continuous dialogue between the provider of science and the users of science. And as you could see here, there are different stakeholders involved in this citizen science process and citizen science framework, as you wish to say. There are universities and research institutes. There are innovative startups, spin-off, local authorities, different venture capitals, organizations and sponsor service organizations, so on and so forth. And when we are talking about citizen science, we should take it all into consideration to try to find the links between and to try to find always solutions in order to improve the linkages which are in between these entities. Because I stress again, it is very important that science to be really understandable by society. And here I was in the next slide. I just tried to show you how diverse is this concept. I was trying about. I was telling in the previous slide about university and research institute there, but here, the concept is a little bit broadened, because here we could talk about alliances of universities. We could talk about different other sort of association between research institute and university, research institute with public institutions, so on and so forth. Well, we should take into consideration, for instance, industrial parks. Also, the hubs, the research centers, research clusters, and right now the clusters are quite a fashion all around the world. And of course, when you are going in the economical area, we should discuss with the people involved in the research departments that they have it there. We should take into consideration the startup, also the local and regional authorities. And here it is very important to have very good connection between citizens and between different stakeholders which are involved in this process. Of course, in this citizen science process are involved the people that are coming with supplementary money in order to develop this framework. And here could be taken into consideration local and regional investing companies, a consulting company, the banks, the startup nation programs, different different investors from. Okay. And of course, we should take into consideration the service organization and so on and so forth. Here in the Alliance, we are 7 universities which are trying to implement these citizen science policies, and we are doing all our best efforts in order to realize this. There are different selection criteria and so on and so forth, qualitative and quantitative, that have to be taken into consideration when we are discussing one to each other, institution with institution, citizen with citizen, citizen with institution, and the vice versa. And I think that for a brief introduction, it is enough. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, John. Thank you for this short but good introduction. Of course, it's a complex concept, and I propose you to illustrate this concept with some samples of good practices of collaborative work between universities and municipalities. And I invite Ms. Elena Farca to present the experience of municipality of Iasi.
Thank you, and Thank you, Professor, for the introduction, and thank you, everyone, for the invitation. In fact, I was trying to see how a municipality can really cope with the science of the citizens, citizen science. I was listening to the introduction, Professor, and yes, this is about general public engagement, and this is really important for a municipality, not only for the municipality of Iași, but for, I think, all the municipality that are having the privilege to have universities in their area. And it's also, like Professor said, about joining together efforts of all the stakeholders of the community, and it's about the dialogue. And this is what we try to create in Iași, to create this framework for the dialogue, for the cooperation between various stakeholders, and in the end to provide to our end user, if we agree to call it like this, the citizen, the best services and the best knowledge possible, the best facilities that he need and he requests and he's waiting from us. We started in Iași to work on more on citizen issues by creating some city centers on a French model in partnership with one of our twinning city. This started in 2006, and we had the opportunity to work with partners from Lille, and we had the expertise from the colleagues of the municipality, but also from the university there. And we created these city centers to encourage the participative democracy and to encourage this dialogue between citizen and city hall and municipality, but also between all the stakeholders of the society. In 2011, starting from 2011 to 2014, we had received from the Council of Europe the 12-star City Award, especially for these activities promoting citizenship, local democracy, and bringing different stakeholders together in this effort to make better approach to the needs of the citizen and to a better awareness about the community. In 2018, we effectively started a long-term partnership between the mayor and all directors of the universities in Iași. And this partnership at the beginning was consisting in having meeting periodically between the mayor and the directors, bringing the problems of the universities, of the students, and of the community on the table and trying to find a solution together. And well, it was like a top-down approach because it started with the meetings between our mayor and directors, but then we started to work in various projects together with the universities in different fields. So this was really important, and this continued to be developed. And I think this is one of the main, let's say, best practice of the municipality of Iași, of bringing on the same table the very important actors at various levels. So mayor and directors, and then professors and specialists from the city hall, and so on. And we also have this kind of approach with the local business community. So used to be more often, well, during COVID, the things, get a little bit strange, but we used to have meetings with the business community, especially on IT field, where Iași it's really developed. if not every month, at least every 2 or 3 months. And this was really important for the municipality to be more in contact with what is the real need in the area and what are the expectations. Also in 2018, Iași became a partner of the Open Government Partnership, OGP. It was a proposal coming from the a very active NGO in the field of citizenship. And we started to work with them in this membership on the platform. And we succeeded in 2019 to create the local plan for OGP. And we appointed the staff at the city hall, and we included in this action plan 3 main measures, and I will mention one of them, which I find it's really important, which is to co-create a mechanism for a solution to public issues. And this co-creating mechanism, it's really about involving all the stakeholders that the community has, and to find together the best solution, the more innovative solution, together with the citizen, with the specialists, with all the people that want to contribute. And in 2020, even if we had this difficult period with the COVID, we successfully implemented the collaborative solution in community in partnership with the Civica Association. And this was an extended consultation process of the citizen who decided the city priorities in 7 strategic domains. And they not only identify the problems like we usually do. So we just identify the problems and then it's not our problem anymore. It's usually like this. No, this was a process involving citizens and specialists and stakeholders, not only finding problems, but also finding solution. And finding solution focusing on innovative ideas and on feasible ideas. And even during this process, we also started to smart of governance and digitalization, and to try to create smart friendly centers for citizens, and to make stronger this partnership. I will try to shorten my ideas and to say that it's important to have this kind of local action plan. It's important to bring together all the stakeholders and to count on the university knowledge, to use this knowledge in order to make a clear framework for cooperation, for dialogue, as Professor said, and to find the best solution coming from the most appropriate partners that have this kind of solution. This project, it's the proof that this cooperation is a really successful one between the municipalities and the universities, because starting from this cooperation of the university, we, the partners, the municipality involved in the project, we succeed to propose our own projects in the same time, and we submitted proposal for new funding for different issues that we find important. So this is like a platform that we started to working and to develop new bridges and new solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have an awful task today, but we don't have time. This is why. But first of all, thank you, Elena, for the presentation and for the very kind attitude the municipality has with the citizens. And we include the CTU community here because we tasted this attitude. And we go on with the presentation of Professor Ricardo Almendra, University of Coimbra, ECTU survey on health in the cities. Ricardo, you have maximum 7 minutes.
Yes, you may. Please.
But it's very far away to read from there to you. Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. I will try my best. Although this small need of changing places, this still is not counting as a time. Thank you for giving me your attention. I'm going to present the preliminary results of the application of a stakeholder survey. This survey has been mainly developed by my colleague Angela Freitas under the coordination of Professor Paulo Santana from the University of Coimbra and also from the working package of our alliance coordinator by Professor Daniela Stoico. The last name is always very difficult for me to pronounce. Okay. So we in the Virtual Institute of Working Package, we locate ourselves in the center of the knowledge square. We try to include, to facilitate the conversation, the contact between education, research, scientific innovation, and also, of course, the interaction with society. We hope that we are providing a service transfer for the community in the field of health and well-being. The aim, or what we are expecting with this work, is to contribute to break the silos, bridge the gap, enhance the communication, promote stakeholders mobilization, and we hope that with this work we give a bit more, we contribute a bit more to moving from a siloed decision making to a more collaborative, intersectional, interdepartmental, multidisciplinary approach. This stakeholder is important because it contributes to inform and co-create guidelines with local authorities towards healthier environments and intersectoral action for health aging, of course, in all the partners of our alliance. Just to locate a bit our conceptual framework, we believe that if we act towards the social determinants of health, if we act towards the interaction of social determinants and the health outcomes, we will achieve better results, we will promote better health, we will decrease the disease. So, the first step, we did this process to identify key stakeholders that can have a valuable contribution to define guidelines, and they fall into two main categories. First one, they have the power to implement the guidelines. That is, they have the capacity to be involved in development and its application, and also they have the interest in promoting health and well-being in the city. The profiles are divided in four main categories. We select people from local governments, from academia, from the healthcare sectors, and also from the third sector. So far, we had 81 participants. We are still missing a couple. We did a survey. The survey is divided in four sections. The first one, it's an introductory part where we ask about each city challenge, the social determinants of health, and the concept of health in all policies. Then we ask about the health in the city, health-related issues, determinants, and policies. We go after for governments for health, the collaboration with local city partners to address healthy aging and the environmental, societal, and economic conditions that have an impact on health. And then we finish, of course, with a description of the profile of the stakeholder. This survey was translated to all the languages of our alliance by our partners in the working package. It was disseminated online. So, some preliminary results. We asked what are the major challenges facing your city, and we asked to select 1 to 3 challenges. The most or the majority of the stakeholders identify aging, after mobility, and then housing. Then with less than 1/4 healthcare sustainability, demographic decline that can also a bit be perceived as aging, and air pollution. If you look by city, we can see that aging is the first priority in 3 out of our 7 institutions. We have also aging and demographic decline, a bit related with aging, as second priority. Housing is an important priority, the first priority in 2 of our cities, and also very important in Pavia, it comes in 3rd place. Mobility, interestingly, does not appear as first priority in any of the city, but is a topic that it comes in 2nd and in 3rd place as priority. Then we were asking, what are the most pressing issues affecting health and healthy aging in your cities? Health, lifestyle-related issues was the most prominent, or the most identified issue, sorry. For instance, low level of physical activity and sedentary behavior, it was referred by 50% of the stakeholders. Of course, we are tackling that. Yesterday, we had a strong activity, so we are already contributing to decrease sedentary activity. Then, as a moderate problem, mobility-related issues, of course, this lined up what I said previously, and socio and economic related issues. For instance, lack of community resources. As a minor problem, or not a problem at all, the services of general interest, they were considered not a significant problem for 20% of our stakeholders, and also, curiously, house-related issues, it was an important issue for some and not an important issue for also being in both extremes. Then we ask to indicate what the response that most closely describe the local government of our city. So first we ask if there is a commitment or a city department, or a city department dedicated to health issues. The strong majority said yes, that is a good result. We asked if there is a commitment to engage and involve external local stakeholders, and more than half said yes. We asked if there is a clear health mandate, the same percentage said yes. We asked if there is a municipal health strategy, also a large percentage agree with that. We asked if the city is part of the WHO European Healthy Cities Network. We have a balanced response. 41% said they don't know, 41% said yes. And we asked if there is in their municipality a health monitoring system, and the majority said they don't know, which is something that we need to tackle, or needs to be tackled. Now, what we are watching here is how the different stakeholders contribute or are contributing, what is their role they are playing in promotion of health. From academia, we can see the majority is to contribute with evidence and data in the beginning of the process. Of course, this is a strong part of our work, but as you can see, also 18% said that we are not involved at all. The healthcare providers are contributing with the reviewing documents in a very low percentage of participation. Local or regional health authority, they participate in several aspects. They contribute with evidence, they review documents, and they maintain an active involvement throughout all the process. The third sector mainly participate as a partner in the implementation of policies, program deliver, and so on. The community, as you can see, has a low place, a small part in this process. And if you remember the academia as well, so we are from the academia, for sure you are thinking same as me, that we can combine here the two parts. We need to promote, to facilitate the involvement of the community. And local business is not involved at all. So challenge and barriers to this intersectoral action for health that we want to achieve. The majority mentioned there is a narrow understanding of health and its multiple determinants, meaning that health is seen like disease treating and not as a promotion of health. There is a lack of information sharing between institutions, a lack of government perspective during the policy-making process, a lack of established permanent intersector implementation, coordination, mechanism and resorts, absence of established culture of stakeholder engagement, low level of political leadership and commitment with health, siloed nature of local decision and policy making, and so on. So now to the opportunities. What are the opportunities to promote health through this intersectoral action? The linking to existing intersectoral structures like the healthy cities networks and other structures, as we see before, that we have in all of our cities, identifying co-benefits, mutual gains, and win-win situations, the need to unite efforts and join actions during crisis situations, placing more focus on long-term returns and investments. And I finish with this last message. I would like to acknowledge the work that my colleagues from the Working Package did in translating and promoting this survey and trying to ensure the engagement of the stakeholders that is not always easy. Thank you for your time and your attention.
Thanks a lot, Ricardo, for the presentation and also for your effort to be in time. Now I think we can take a brief to open the first CNA session, and you are welcome to address questions to the speakers. Yes. Or we can postpone this Q&A session at the end of the presentation, of all presentation. What do you think? It's okay? Okay. We go on now to the experience of Pavia, and I would like to introduce Ms. Martina Altea Bellinzona, University of Pavia, with a presentation about how to reduce the gap between academia and society. A few examples from University of Pavia, the Office for Sustainable Actions and other initiatives. Sorry? Okay.
Okay, anyway, if you get to launch the presentation, it's fine. Otherwise,
We changed the order of the...
No. Actually, I was wondering whether you have my presentation to be launched. Yeah, one from university and one from the municipality.
Sorry, that means I don't have the updated version of the agenda?
No problem.
Okay.
So we'll make sure that you get the present.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so you won't see my presentation, but anyway, we see that we are in a hurry. We can definitely let you have the presentation afterwards so that you can get the info. I will just go by heart, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll be actually very brief, and I'll give you some hints on what the University of Pavia is trying to do in the sense of citizen engagement, actually, rather than citizen science. But with no engagement, there's no citizen science. So we're still working, let's say, on the first step of the process. And specifically, I would like to give you a presentation and a few hints from what the Sustainability Office of the University is doing. So specifically, indeed, on the theme of sustainability. And that's because I'm actually working as liaison officer in between the international relations area and the sustainability office. So it's something that I do really care about and work on my daily basis. The University of Pavia got really engaged on sustainability in the latest years, but still we realized that there was a lack of coordination in between all the initiatives that were brought about by the diverse departments and offices of the university. So in 2020, we decided to set up a sustainability office. It's named OSA, the Office for Sustainable Actions. And the aim of the office, the purpose of the office was really that of gathering all the initiatives, launching new ones, and especially to make sure that everything that's going on in the academia has a proper reach out and gets concretely to the community and to the civil society. So that was one of the values deeply enshrined in the idea itself of the institution of a sustainability office. And how do we do this? There are actually, let's say, a couple of ways that we are more keen on and that we put our efforts on. The one is launching initiatives that are designed from scratch from the University of Pavia, and to make sure they reach out properly and effectively all the civil society and citizenship of the city of Pavia. And the other way around is to grasp and make sure we do map all the initiatives that instead are in the framework of the local and international opportunities. So let's say the other way around is getting all the opportunities from outside and making sure we do work on them effectively as university. And in this way, in this sense, the Office for Sustainable Action is, let's say, truly important, and for let's say a few things, very concrete things that still allow the big works to be done and to go on. So, from an internal perspective, the office provides support in the organization of events, in the promotion of events, in the launching of the initiatives, on creation of the proper materials, and in creating a sort of branding so that all the citizens, once an event, once an initiative comes out, they can easily recognize what's included under the umbrella of the Sustainable Office. So they can easily understand what's the topic, what's going on. And that's still a fourth point that is very important. The visibility, the ability to be recognized is something that is really important to get the citizens, get people engaged. And instead, at an external level, let's say out of the university, what really matters and what the office is truly engaged on is that of mapping the local stakeholders. And so that once we, the university, some departments of the university want to launch an event, want to propose an initiative, they can already lay on and rely on a proper map, on a proper catalog of the stakeholders of the local community, of the local territory. So that's something extremely important. And actually, I think just a brief reminder, just a brief connection to Work Package 7 of EC2U, when we speak, that's still a work in progress, but the engagement stage is something extremely related to this procedure of mapping like the stakeholders, all the possibility for concrete engagement of people. So they really go hand in hand. And yeah, I'm sorry you can't see the presentation, but I just wanted to give you some brief examples of how the Office for Sustainable Action is concretely getting engaged. The first idea that I wanted to show you is how it promotes university initiatives to the community. In this sense, maybe you already heard about this because we proposed the idea actually as a joint collaboration to EC2U during the plenary council. So the Office for Sustainable Action was instrumental in 2021 and will be even more instrumental in 2022 in order to realize some initiatives truly dedicated to civic engagement in the frame of the European Week for Waste Reduction, You'll see all the info in the PowerPoint when you get it, and of course, all the universities are more than welcome to join the activities, even remotely. And in this sense, the Office for Sustainable Action was really an asset, was a key point for the success of the event, because it allowed for a proper coordination among the university departments, university offices, and in the dissemination of the event, and especially in collecting, in receiving, and in reaching out all the local stakeholders that in some events of this type, it is really fundamental. So this was an example of how the office launched and promoted an event that reached out to the society with concrete and true engagement of the local actors. But then the other way around, as I was mentioning before, it really helps collecting the initiatives from the outside. For instance, the Festival for Sustainable Development, that's something going on at national level in Italy. Well, every initiative that the University of Pavia wants to propose in the frame of this event has to, let's say, gets collected, gets grasped from the Office for Sustainable Action, and in this way we make sure we reach out to the not only local stakeholders, but for instance also national ones, in a very coordinated and harmonized way. And finally, there's also a third point that I deemed worth to mention. There is the involvement of the office in international, local and international projects. And one project that I wanted just to mention is the Brights project. Again, you will find the info in the PowerPoint. But one of the key points of the Brights project is actually that of producing a handbook based on the experience of the Office for Sustainable Action, so that other universities outside the partnership can get the tips and insights on how to establish this sort of office, or still how to manage, how to run this kind of office in the most effective way. So in case you're interested in setting up or in improving your kind of offices, well, stay tuned, because actually that could be something useful for you. So just summarizing and concluding, I just wanted to point out how an office structured in this way, with this sort of task, can really be helpful to ensure coordination and visibility of what's going on in the different departments, different offices of a university, how it can really foster green initiatives, can be really be helpful to launch and to be proactive in this sense. And finally, how it can...
Thanks a lot, Martina.
Thank you.
I'm apologizing for,
No
for
worries.
interrupting.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry for this misunderstanding with the order of presentation. And I would like to introduce now our colleagues from Pavia municipality. Please, you have the floor.
Hello, thank you. We are Roberto Tilocchi and Lisa Preti, and Maria Spiti. We represent the municipality of Pavia. Thank you for this invitation for this important project, very important project. As municipality of Pavia, we are always trying to promote this kind of project. And okay, let me see with Elisa what we have done till today to be more in contact and collaborate with our citizens. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elisa Preti, and I work from the Europe Office and Equal Opportunities of the Municipality of Pavia. During the year, we adopted this application that is a multi-channel application that, sorry. Okay. We adopted this application that is a multi-channel application that amplify the possibility of the municipality and reduce and simplify the relation with our citizen. We have an integrated management for this application, our site, and also the social of the municipality of Pavia. We can customize and according the needs of our municipality and also for the citizen. And we have a multilingual system for citizen and for student. We want to fight the digital divide in our project. So we call in Italy Tempo di Quartieri, that means district time. That is a project that aims to improve the accessibility and the usability of the service and in implementation of the time plan of the municipality of Pavia. And the main activities are the support to access online services for certain targets group, particularly affected by digital divided. And we also want to increase the digital culture of these services. And also with the collaboration of the university, we develop a SMACI, that is a Smart Cities project. I mentioned that this project is in collaboration from the university, and we selected 5 students that are the teachers of our courses. The project was developed in 2 phases. One phase is the tutoring for the acquisition of the use of SPID, that is the public digital identity system, and we help over 60 citizens that have to go online, and during the COVID, they have to download the certification. And also 1 month ago, we started computer literacy courses for over 16 citizens that we hope they could improve their knowledge about the digitalization. So at this time, we offer with the Municipium application a sort of briefly agenda with news and events, the possibility of reporting if they want, they can report danger and faulty with geolocalization, and also they can take us photos. And also there is a section of serial protection with real-time and info alert, and also we have another section of useful infos. We develop a project combating the digital divide, and also to be more closely to the citizen, we live streaming the city council and also the council committees. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure there is another speaker from Pavia. Thank you. Thank you. Now we go on directly to the experience of Coimbra, and we invite our colleague Felipe Rocha for delivering the presentation of Coimbra municipality.
Thank you. Good morning, all. And a previous disclaimer. This morning I will speak not as a ECTU local coordinator, but on behalf of the mayor of Coimbra, who couldn't be here with us in this forum in Iasi. He was in Pavia, but now he couldn't join us. And unfortunately, Joana Loureiro, municipality representative at ECTU, had to return to Portugal this morning and cannot do the presentation of municipality. So I don't have a presentation, but I will read the mayor's intervention prepared for today's session. It is entitled Coimbra Ecosystem Towards Science and the Importance of Citizen Science to the City. Coimbra has a particularly favorable, rich, and diverse scientific ecosystem made up around the University of Coimbra, the Polytechnical Institute, and other high education institutions, but also by other entities that carry out powerful and fruitful scientific production work, which has been awarded and recognized worldwide by national and international organizations. In terms of scientific diffusion, we can highlight multiple infrastructures like the Science Museum, the Botanical Garden, the Exploratory, or the Living Science Centers, all connected to university. These are, in fact, institutions that, in their actions and their collections, inspire and motivate citizens towards science through research, production, transmission, and dissemination of scientific knowledge. So in Coimbra, we have a unique dynamic in terms of higher education, which allows and also forces to take a special look at science and the role that scientific knowledge plays in the integral development of our territory. Coimbra's municipality is fully involved with science and the dissemination of the scientific knowledge. We want to have the population of Coimbra engaged with science, and we want to bring science close to citizens, showing that it's not only scientists that promote scientific research. The way to achieve this goal is exactly through the developing of city science projects, articulating and strengthening the relationship between municipality, the research institutions, the associations, and citizens. We value and place at the center of our action the concept of citizen science as a research and education tool that involves citizens in real and meaningful forms of science, as biological, ecological, health, or astronomy inventories. Citizens can also participate in long-term monitoring programs. The municipality of Coimbra has a mission of educating the public about the environment, teaching people about the process of science, and connecting people to the natural world. And citizen science provides us with a mechanism that for furthering our mission in this field, demonstrating ways that citizens can use to generate reliable, useful data for science. Involving our citizens in scientific projects is one of our goals, and we are completely aligned with this concept of city science, science for everyone, which is fundamental for stimulating scientific production in Coimbra. This voluntary work done by citizens allows to collect data, some that would be difficult to obtain without this precious help, and that data will support professionals in their work to answer questions and solve important problems that affect us all, building meaningful connections to science. The municipality wants to be the revolving door to leverage this networking that involves the whole community, aiming scientific development of our territory. The municipality proposed to develop the creation of a mapping platform of city science projects taking place in Coimbra. This mapping will focus on projects involving Coimbra citizens and will have a huge impact producing vital data for scientific development at local and regional level. One of these citizen science projects that will be presented by the municipality is entitled Ecology of Coimbra's Urban Streams. The data collected by citizens of all ages and backgrounds will provide us essential data to implement an ecological intervention strategy regarding these water courses, which are vital to the region's ecosystems. The project is based on Smart City for Science concept, which is intended to intensify the use of data involving citizen science in the process of managing city problems. Another example, already in progress, Coimbra is nowadays through a great urban transformation, materializing projects developed in a fruitful collaboration with university and with one main purpose, citizens' well-being. For instance, we are bringing citizens closer to Coimbra's river, Mondego, and creating sustainable intermunicipal transportation with the metro bus. And now, to finalize, Philippe, can add some good practice that illustrate that fruitful connection between municipality, university, and citizens. A good example is the definition of the municipal health strategy developed by university, and in particular by the research unit that Ricardo is representing, involving all relevant stakeholders and with participatory sessions with citizens collecting important contributes. A final example, just to illustrate another perspective, is a project called Healthy Night in the city of Coimbra, involving several partners, including the university, municipality, or the University Hospital Center, investing in the prevention of interpersonal violence, of alcohol abuse, and of illicit drug consumption, and also preventing road accidents with the fundamental involvement of citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Felipe. So now we are at the end of the presentations, and we have 20 minutes for questions, debate, opinions, remarks. So the Q&A session is open. Please, your questions are welcome. Yes. You, Anna, te rog.
Thank you. Thank you. I am Florence Casal from the municipality of Poitiers, and I just wanted to add an example from our municipality, because Poitiers has been working for 2 years on the creation of the Citizens Assembly. The municipal team places citizen participation and local democracy at the heart of its project. The objectives are to give back the power to act to the inhabitants, to develop a culture of debate, to recreate a bond of trust between elected officials, citizens, and municipality services, and to train citizens in public affairs to combat the democratic crisis. So the Citizen Assembly is a forum for debate and decision-making open to all citizens of the city of Poitiers. The Assembly is autonomous in debating and voting on the subject as taken up. It is composed of 3 elements, 100 citizens from Poitiers randomly selected, and 2 groups composed of inhabitants, elected officials, and agents from the municipality. The first, and then 2 groups. The first group is proposal groups in charge of working more closely and on selected subjects, consulting experts, and submitting proposals to the Assembly. And the second group is the methodology committee in charge of the organization, and it prepares the animation and the logistics, etc. How does this Citizens Assembly works? One subject will be dealt with during 4 assembly sessions. These 4 assembly sessions are decision-making and festive day during which the assembly chooses the subject during the first session and then deliberates and decide during the 3 following sessions. And then at the end of these 4 sessions, the votes of the proposal will take place with the municipality. Once the proposal is voted, citizens are associated to the follow-up project. Last Saturday, the very first subject of the assembly was selected out of 18 proposals submitted by the citizens via our website. Among the topics proposed were guaranteeing that all means of transport coexist in the city, adaptation to climate change, and the selected subject is incivilities in the public space. Subject that we can relate it to the presentation that did Ricardo, because we saw that the third priority for Poitiers was urban violence. So now we can wait for the beginning of the debate on 20.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have now the 4th presentation, the Poitiers experience. It's very good. Now I propose you to launch the questions. David, please.
I think my idea was maybe we can actually benefit from the fact that we have here in the room representatives from municipality and representatives from the universities that are now directly engaged in this dialogue. So my question is actually, now that we have started this challenge of having an alliance that is step by step integrating all the components of this knowledge ecosystem, if we call it like that, integrating also the citizens. What would be, for instance, here on the panel, the viewpoints from the university colleagues on what could be for EC2U, for instance, the next steps to make progress? And at the same time, what would be the viewpoint of the municipality of new ways of interacting to even go further? So the two viewpoints on this very specific point of where do we meet in that bridge between the two?
Okay, good question, actually, because I think it summarizes more or less what we were actually talking just a few minutes before starting, because we were just saying, okay, as soon as we go back to Pavia, we need to start a sort of roundtable and proper like monthly meeting where we just meet up and just talk about how to foster the collaboration between university and municipality. Yeah, because actually we were indeed just saying that with no collaboration, whatever goes in the academia doesn't get the proper spread in the municipality. So right now, I honestly wouldn't know like exactly how to answer, because I kind of need to digest all the what's going on. And actually, I have to thank this session, because it was for ourselves the opportunity to actually get like aligned on exactly like the new things coming up. So for sure, we're gonna like start a proper monthly roundtable, let's say, right?
Yes, this is important meeting for to be more to arrive to some final goals. So the roundtable in Pavia doesn't exist now between university and municipality. So I think this is the first step to speak about everything about our city, and to link the university and the citizens, because finally municipality is the citizens. So we have to work together to realize all the dreams of the citizens for a different life, a life very healthy, for example. And this roundtable, I think that's the good way to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Some way I can, you probably know, but I want to tell you that we have a step forward even before this meeting, because with the municipalities that met in Pavia during the spring, we already started to work together. So this was a great platform. We started to work together, and we already won another project on citizenship and twinning cities. And we created this platform that we signed agreement of friendship and twinning between all the partners municipalities. And more than that, we applied for a new project on Interreg Europe for the next 3 or 4 years. We wait for the results. And so we started our work based on this alliance, and we started to, let's say, to enlarge the domains, because our project, for example, in Interreg Europe and also in Twinning, it's about cultural cities, digitalization. So we already started to work on this. And I think this is important, that for the next step, we managed to bring together new partners and new subjects, because I hear my colleagues speaking about environment issues, equality of chances, and problems with violence. I saw a lot of presentation dealing with digitalization of the public administration, and this can be made together because the city hall does not, the municipality does not have the experts needed for this kind of topics. So I think our next steps are really to expand a little bit in both senses, topics and partnerships. And municipality, they have their own partners also they can invite, and I think the university can do the same. And this can be very rich for both sides. Thank you.
If the moderator allows me, just a quick...
Another question.
No, it's actually, I would like that we take a very practical message from you, because we are now preparing the new proposal. So I would like to know what can we write in the proposal. So do I understand that actually you would also welcome that we exactly formally integrate whatever form a space where really the Alliance and the universities would dialogue much more regularly, and for this we could develop common tools so that we can on both sides can take benefit and strengthen this dialogue. Do I understand well? Okay.
Thank you. Another questions? Sorry.
Just to mention that although I represented the municipality and the mayor in this panel, I cannot answer for them. But one thing I am sure, we can count with their collaboration. Joanna mentioned 2 days ago, and Elena mentioned today some projects developed in the scope of EC2U. But I can give another concrete examples of the collaboration of municipality. For instance, the EC2U think tank about sustainability. The municipality was an active partner. We contribute for municipality experts in the area, and I know that in other think tanks that are prepared, the municipality will contribute for sure.
Thank you. Another question?
Good morning, everybody. I will just be fast. My question is because I really like the presentation of Coimbra, for the all the GLAD survey research, because actually I think it gave the theoretical side for when then you can do all the activities that the municipality and even the intervention of Pavia was saying. So my question was more, which kind of practical tips based on the result of the survey, you can give to us, and particularly to this kind of new platform, let's say, round the table that then we will do between university and municipality. So if something, small, concrete, where we can start on, with small things, because the citizen give good feedback, I mean, good critical feedback, let's say. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. I agree with you, and citizens give very good feedback that we need to know how to read. I think the role, and I will be very, very specific as you asked, the role of the academia, I think is mandatory, is very important, and it lies on several aspects. For once, we have the ability to put on the same table different actors. I think that's somehow easier for us to join actors at the same table that usually they would not join throughout other facilitator. So I think the academia can develop well that role. Also, in order to receive proper insight, there are techniques, there are science that needs to be applied to develop protocols to improve them. So we need to provide the local authorities, or who is applying it, with state-of-the-art methodologies. We need to be able to adapt the state-of-the-art methodologies to our reality in order to retrieve information with quality that can be applied, that can be used to improve the quality of life of citizens. Just one very small comment, but the role of the participatory process do not end here. If we do not express somehow what citizens say, we will lose their contact. And this is mandatory, this is fundamental. There was a very short example of one participatory process not in Coimbra, that one neighborhood only asked to decrease the speed, the road speed, because of the noise after some time. So it was something that demanded almost no cost for the municipality. And they managed to have a strong involvement of the neighborhood, but nothing happened. Are these people going to, again, respect and to be engaged when their expectation is nothing happen? After that moment, we are losing the ability to bring to the table citizens and also stakeholders. So I think the academia can provide tools, can adapt tools, should be a guaranteed state of the art of the methods, but also provide, or we need to have the other side, the implementation of the insights that we receive.
Thanks a lot, Ricardo, for this very well-pointed, the specific added value of this approach of citizen science. Thank you. Any other question from the public? Now we have time. 2 minutes for question. Okay, please.
Thank you. I would like to invite the representatives of local authorities to kindly answer to our invitation for a dialogue on 2 subjects. One focused on citizen science, on their cities, citizen science and knowledge ecosystem. And other one focused on what our colleague have presented, the results of a survey related to health in the cities. We would like to follow up this approach with focus groups, interviews, in order to get the best insight to be valued in a guideline for the local authorities from Iasi to you. We count on your support. We are counting on your support. Thank you very much.
And now a short conclusion.
Actually,
at the end of the session.
Rather than a conclusion, I would like to know if actually students have also something to say, because you are also citizens. You are a part of the bridge between the city, the society, and what we are all actually. But in particular, I would like to know what you think of this capacity to interact directly with citizens. If you have some comments or ideas.
Hello. A very short comment on the application that you introduced to us. Yeah, I think that it is a quite useful tool to reach a broader audience, especially young folks. I was wondering whether whether there are similar applications for different cities, because I felt from what you've told about the application that you've worked on this now, and you have maybe even something to show in first, like you have an application, a first draft. But I imagine that different cities already also have a tool like this. Have you, were you in dialogue with other cities that use a similar tool and maybe can use their experience?
It's about the survey.
Yeah.
Okay. Ricardo, can you take the question?
No, sorry. It was directed to your application. Yes.
I think that the digital divide is one of the themes that all of the municipality have to fight, because not only students have the capacity, also the instrument to be a part of the digitalization. Also, I think the oldest, in this case, over 60 citizen can have the capabilities to be part of this field. I think I don't know. We can talk and we can have a dialogue about this theme with other municipalities.
Okay, so you're probably the first to implement a tool like this, to develop a tool like this?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your questions. We are at the end of the session. Final conclusion, Ludovic, please.
Yeah, just like if I knew what to say. No, I think what we could mostly say here is that we have really brilliant examples of starting initiatives to really make a strong connection between the universities, but let's say the EC2 Alliance with the other stakeholders, including the municipalities that are actually a part now of the Alliance. So I think this is just the start of something which obviously is difficult. There are many difficulties in engaging with the citizens as a whole. Some are probably cultural, some are also related to a wide range of competences on all sides. For instance, a researcher needs communication competencies and training to be in capacity to properly present science to citizens, and citizens needs to be trained as well. So we see that actually it's really challenging. And probably I'm forgetting a lot of things, but at least what I see is that a platform like the EC2 Alliance is probably a part of the solution, there are many others, but we already see that you're all very much believing that all together with something like the EC2 Alliance, we can address part of the issues, and we know that they are very challenging. So that's the main positive outcome, if I may say. So thank you all for being here, and thank you all also for your brilliant presentations. Thank you.
Enjoy your coffee break. Lunch, sorry. Yeah, all right.